Everyone asks how I actually found my first rental property at 19. It wasn't some off market secret. Most deals didn't work, and I almost passed on the one I bought. So, the main place that I looked was on Zillow, and the reason why some of the deals I looked at failed were because they were too expensive or they couldn't be converted into duplexes. My final one that I actually purchased actually worked because it was a duplex and it could and it was needed rehabbed and it didn't cost as much as some of the other ones on the market. So a big mistake that beginners make is that the house that they actually buy isn't able to be fixed up into what they want. So the actual main source that I actually used to find my deal was on Zillow. The main reason why I focused on this was because it was a simple platform. It's easy to find houses, and um, there's a lot of them out there in my current city. So I would say a main reason why beginners don't need fancy off-market deals is because Zillow provides you with a ton of houses to look at and to go and see. And I would say I looked at over about 50 to 100 houses just on Zillow. I didn't actually go to all the houses because some of them didn't fit just based on how they looked on this actual screen. But the ones that actually did look good went to about 5 to 10. Um, and that's how I eventually found my first deal. So the reason why this property could work was because it's a duplex. It has two sources of income, both renters in there. Um, the purchase price was $42,000, and then the amount of rent that I'm getting is $1,300. It costs an extra $18,000 to renovate it, so it's $60,000 in total. So my mortgage is about $400, and the amount of rent that I'm getting is $2,600. So the rent to mortgage ratio is very good. And the reason why I did an actual rehab was so that I could then do a cash out refinance to then purchase my next house. And even after this cash out refinance that's going to happen soon, I'm going to still cash flow a significant amount of money. So one mistake beginners make is that they don't actually run the numbers. So running the numbers allows you to calculate the overall logic behind how much you're going to make versus how much you're going to lose on the expenses and the mortgage in total. So me personally, with my dad, having him as a mentor and him being in the rental real estate game for a little while, I was able to talk to him and make sure that this house makes sense and it's going to cash flow and everything is going to be good. And at the end of the day, so far it has worked out. So the main thing that I would do differently today is that I would focus only on duplexes. I ran a bunch of numbers from single family homes, and those just don't seem to do as well as the duplexes in my current area. So one of the other big mistakes that I made was that I didn't understand how long the repairs were going to take and how much the repairs were actually going to cost. As I said in one of my previous videos, the overall rehab budget went over, and the amount of time that it actually took to repair everything took a lot longer than what was expected. So I would definitely take those into account on my next property that I purchase. If you're trying to buy your first rental, don't chase perfection, chase numbers that make sense. And I'm documenting the whole process, so subscribe if you want to follow along. And thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.